Thanks for attending. Alan Smart, Vice Chair, Doncaster Rovers Bells. Press conference with regards to, and again the press release has gone to you, so it was embargoed until 4 p.m. tonight or this evening. And what I want to do is just introduce you to the new board at Doncaster Rovers Bells with regards to personalities on the top table. Myself and John Buckley, directors of the club, and this afternoon we've had a meeting, a management meeting, and I'd like to introduce you to, on my left, your right, Faye Ligo, next to Faye, her husband Carl Ligo, next to me is Teresa Aitken, and obviously extreme right is Yvonne Buckley. I'll let you talk to them individually. And what today's meeting is about really is investment in the club, not just investment financially, but investment from an academic point of view, partnerships with regards to academia, with regards to the business sector. And I'll let Carl talk for himself, but Carl is Doncaster lad who's obviously heard and seen the plight of the Bells over the last 2 or 3 months, following on from the announcement that the Bells will be demoted from an administrative point of view. And we will be playing our game trade next year in WSL2. People are unhappy with that, and Carl has voted with his feet, has come in and has supported myself and the club and myself and John. And really I think it's only right that we introduce you to where we're going as a club. So I think I can talk for England, but I'm going to shut up rattling and let Mr. Ligo say a few words for himself. But for me, before I do shut up, this is one of them wow moments. This is something for the Bells in 44 years of history, heritage, that I don't think, and John can probably say in his 10 years of been here, that we've not had anything like this. Investment in the club, and it's not just finance, it's off the field as well. So it's, if I can shut up and sort of introduce you to Carl, Mr. Ligo.
Yeah, Professor actually. But anyway.
Sorry.
Keeps constantly referring to me as that. Look, I'm delighted to be able to help. You know, one of the greatest things about Doncaster is the Doncaster Bells. And we as a town ought to be very proud about the fact that we've put women's football on the map. I mean, without the success of Doncaster Bells in the early years, I don't think it's any exaggeration to say that the women's game would not have achieved what it's achieved today. And I'm delighted that Andrew Isaacs, local solicitor at the back there, is joining the board, and I'm sure that the FA will read into it what they want, the fact that 4 lawyers have joined the board of Doncaster Bells. But this moment is more about creating a long-term sustainable future for the Bells, and we've just come out of a meeting where we've been talking about a 10-year plan to take the Bells to the top of the game where we believe they should be. And the outrage that's been visited upon this club by the FA is going to be the thing that really galvanises us all together, to pull together and to make the club a great success once again. So what we've announced today, the company that I'm chief executive of is a private professional education provider, also a university. And we've announced a sponsorship deal which I think is pretty unique in terms of sport, because it's a two-way deal in the sense that students from the university will come and help the club to sustain its commercial existence, help with the business back office of the club. So we have some of the very best graduates from Oxford and Cambridge who come to study with BPP, both in our law school, in our School of Health and our business school. And we're going to put that resource on a pro bono basis available to the club to help it from a back office perspective. And secondly, we're offering scholarships to anybody who wants to play for the Doncaster Bells so that they don't have to pay the fees of a university education if they want to qualify as a lawyer or an accountant or work in the health sector. Then we have programs of study that we'd make available. So we hope that that will drive good quality players towards the club, thinking that they can also be successful in their careers as well as being a success for Doncaster Bells on the pitch. And then of course there's the issue of offering cash sponsorship, which we're delighted to do that for the Doncaster Bells. So I think that these three things together will help to create a sustainable long-term club. The plans that we've been discussing, which I know are not yet ready to be made publicly, but they're exciting. This is really a wow moment, as Alan has said. It's a really exciting opportunity to get involved. And I'd say to all other Doncaster business people that are out there, this is your time to step up. This is your moment to put your money where your mouths are and come and support this fantastic club with a fantastic heritage. And I'm delighted we've got a very strong board. Teresa is the new chair of our board. It's really an exciting opportunity. So thank you.
No, thank you, Carl. I don't really know. Do you want to open it up to questions? Is there anything from the floor from you?
One very easy question. Is Teresa TH or TE, please?
It's TE.
That were easy.
It was.
Any more difficult questions?
How important was it to get this level of sponsorship after the last few months and the infamous relegation?
You've used relegation. That's the way everybody sees it. It isn't that, because relegation is something you fight for off the pitch. How important is it? You ask the likes of Arsenal, Liverpool, how important this is. We have our, I suppose, family with the Secretary of Doncaster Rovers here. How important would this be to them? I think in the football world, in the sporting world, this partnership, this joint academic sport partnership is, I don't know, I think it's unique. It happens in Bristol. They've got an alignment with academia, Arsenal and Watford, and there are other models around the country. But what Carl and BPP are offering is more than that. It's not just about youngsters going to school and going through academia. This is about internships. This is about pro bono. This is about BPP and their business acumen in academia. And you need to look at bpp.com. Just get your heads collectively round how big that company is. And again, Carl will tell you those words. 2/3 of all accountants that go through the UK go through BPP's hands. 1/3 of all lawyers in the UK go through BPP's hands. I don't know whether I can explain to you how big that is. It's more than wow. It's phenomenal. In 2.5 years that I've been here, in 10 years that John's been here, and I'll let him talk for himself, it's just off the scale. So you ask Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, what would it mean to them? And they'd say, how have you pulled that off? And it's because of the bad deal that we've had. We feel it. I feel it personally. It's emotive. But the bottom line is, what do? You just pack in and walk away? Or do you get people, good people around you, around the table? And that's what we've done. So,
I mean, I couldn't personally think of a better opportunity that matches my talents. You've got a legal issue. I'm one of the Hot 100 lawyers in the United Kingdom. And you have an operation that needs a sustainable business model. And I'm the chief executive of a company that until 2009 was a FTSE 250 company. I'm a Doncaster lad. I want to help. I think I've got some talents to add. I think I can bring in other people that are going to help as well. And look, we've started to do that with this board. And as I say, the 10-year plan that we can't yet discuss is just exciting. And it's not pie in the sky, it's a reality. And I can see how that can practically be achieved.
Is this the sort of thing that will get you back into WSL 1 after the demotion, as you call it, and put you on that look? Because obviously, people say about Manchester City, they've just had money thrown at it. Is this a more constructive way of doing it? Well,
you can answer your own question, can't you? You look at it, pros and cons. Do you just throw money at it? Well, if you're from Doncaster, if you're from, you know what I mean, the less affluent clubs and, you know what I mean, in sport in general, and I'm not just talking about football, you've either got somebody who can throw a load of money at it and you can buy in, or you can look to build after adversity. You learn more from adversity and than you'll ever do from success. So what we're doing as a board is speaking about how we can draw a line in the sand. We are where we are. You know what I mean? At this precise moment in time, we're in League Two from March next year. Fine, okay, that's all right. We'll build and we'll build for that. Are we after promotion? Yeah, you could say that. And what are we going to do with the people around the table? Well, what we're going to do is talk to folk and actually say, do you want to come and have a go and actually play for the Bells? 44 years of heritage, 22 years in the top flight. What, demoted because of an administrative process? Is that right? Is that how sport is? How it should be? I don't think so, and a lot of other people around the world don't think so, because this is not just UK based. America, Australia, Europe are just looking at it. And I'm not just on about clubs, I'm on about organisations. You know what I mean? Is it right, ethically, morally, legally? Does it really matter, ethically and morally, how we treat our clubs and how we treat sport? I think it is, and other people on this table think it is. But who are we? You know what I mean? We don't make the rules, do we?
So the ambitions are for this club to be the champions, for them to be competing in Europe on a regular basis, and to take this club to the place where we believe it should be. Now, you can do that with millionaires coming in and throwing money, but when you do that, it depends upon the whims of those individuals. So what we're going to do here is create a different model that's sustainable within the community, that has local business supporting it, and it doesn't depend upon one individual. That's the key. And we think that we've got a model that will be successful. The economics in women's football is not the same as in men's football. We think we can achieve success and put them to the top of that first division by the steps that we're going to take. And we'll have a clear plan that we'd like to eventually share with all of you, that's going to get us there. And I do believe this. Look, I'm not prone to exaggeration. You ask anybody in my sector, I'm not prone to exaggeration, but I'll put my money on Doncaster Bells being champions within the next 10 years.
Does that answer your question?
Pretty well, yeah.
Any more questions? Yes, Glenn.
Can I ask what the morale is with the players and how the players responded as well?
Well, John.
Well, I think the players for day one have responded well to it. I think they were still kind of hanging on to the thing when it went to appeal. But one of the things that they've got a brilliant spirit, and I just think one of the things, I mean, Carol mentioned it there, it's about having a vision, about making sure, we're talking about 10 years, like 4 or 5 years down the line, we've got to be competing. The first thing we've got to do when we go down is make sure we come back up, not think about it. We've got to make sure that we come back up. And what we have to do just now is just try and drive that into the players and make sure that they understand that. But they're a really kind of solid bunch, and I don't, it would have affected certain people, but, they're quite strong-minded.
That answer your question? Yes, go on.
Given the way the FA have acted, assuming that WSL2 finishes champions 2014, what obstacles are there to go back to WSL1? Anything?
Same obstacles as this year. The element of, and again, the issue has been primacy on facilities. And in reality, I don't want to go too much into that legal side of things, but we've got to meet the attitude test. We've got to meet the criteria of the ground, of marketing, of those 4 pillars that you talk about. So from a playing point of view, from a marketing, the ground and everything around those 4, governance and structure of the club. I think the difference with the Bells is that it's a community model. It's a social enterprise. It's not a standard, understandable football board, loads of money with different pillars that are. It's a community model. We're out in the community. We're going to be out in the community more because we know that that's the right model. We all believe on the top table, the board believe that's the right model. So what I want to say to you is that, yes, there is criteria to meet. We'll meet them.
Well, from obviously the stuff I've read, obviously I don't know a lot of what went off at the hearings and all that, but
from what's been said today, assuming when it's Champions 2014, probably going to be in a much better position to meet those criteria.
Oh, bless you. Without a shadow of a doubt, it's going to be better. Because you draw a line in the sand. We are where we are. We've accepted. We don't agree with it. We've accepted we're in League Two next year. And the bottom line is that other people, from a legal point of view, may think differently. However, that's conditioning your head. That's you getting your head round, having a smack on the nose and picking yourself up and dealing with it. And that's what we're going to do. So the idea is that, it's big talk that we're going to be champions in 2014. Why would we not want to be that? Why would we not want to, and again, I'm not going to say prove people wrong, but what this is about is a massive injustice, a massive disservice that's been paid to a club with 44 years of heritage. That is wrong. However you package it up, that's wrong. So what we're going to do is collectively, we believe, prove people wrong. And you know what? Managers of other WSL clubs want us to do that. They believe in us. They support us. They've stood up and actually said, you've read the press yourself. The fact is that people are totally disillusioned. But we're not the governing body, are we? We don't make the rules and the decisions. I don't know whether that answers your question.
Yeah, you're going to be in a much stronger position. Look, I watched Doncaster Rovers about 15 years ago in front of about 810 fans against Grimsby Town. If you'd have told all of those fans then that we'd be sitting in this kind of stadium watching Doncaster Rovers drawing with the FA Cup finalists last night, you'd have probably said, no, that's not going to happen. Doncaster's best chance of playing in Europe is with Doncaster Rovers Bells. And we're going to do that. And I can see a definite plan for us to be able to do it, but it starts with commercially in the back office, making sure everything is running properly and we take every opportunity that's available to us. When we do that, then we look to John and the players to do the rest for us. And I'm pretty confident we can get that back office where it should be to support a team that's competing at the top.
A question for Carl. The news now is broke on the internet and everything. The response from the fans has been absolutely phenomenal.
Good.
What would you say to any fans who've maybe got a few doubts about this or anything?
Believe. Look what John Ryan has achieved with Doncaster Rovers. I think the Doncaster Bells have got this better position. You know, look at the starting position we've got. It's a much stronger position than where Doncaster Rovers found themselves in the non-leagues. You know, I think we've got strong possibilities here. Looking at the economics in the ladies' football world, it's not the same as the men's. Applying good business principles to the Doncaster Rovers Bells will give us a massive advantage. I don't think it takes much to make a difference. And the ultimate ambition is to support the players so that they can play at the best of their possible opportunities. And I think we can do that. I'm pretty confident that we've got a clear route to do that. And it's sustainable. This is not dependent upon one individual. And I think that's crucial. Being a community club, a club for Doncaster people, then we need to leave something of a legacy here that's sustainable for the long term. And when people ask us, what did you do when the going got tough? We didn't sit there going on Twitter with doubts. We actually got moving and did something about it. And I think this is the time. Come on, folk of Doncaster. If you go outside of Donny, what do people talk about? They talk about this great past that Doncaster had. Well, let's start talking about the great future with Doncaster Rovers Bells representing England in Europe.
You like the sound of that? Bucky?
Yep, love it. I think we're fortunate in a massive way as well for everybody that's on the top table as well, in regards to locality of where these people come from, because it happens a lot in sport or whatever, that people feel something and they feel an injustice, and it's came through obviously the decision, but regardless of that, we've got to kind of focus now and make sure we do exactly as what we said and win the division below and finish this division as strong as we can. A good platform tonight, to go out there and hopefully spank these.
Oh, we're playing, John.
I think you'll enjoy the game, son. Arsenal.
Arsenal in town, so yeah, go on, Ailey, sorry.
From a financial point of view, obviously the privacy of the pitch was
Ask the question again, because you're talking about the pitch. We've got a pitch. We're playing on a pitch. The facility, we've got facilities here. 15,000 all seater.
There's a complete.
Well,
irony,
we've got
isn't there?
primacy. We've got primacy at 6 o'clock on a Saturday,
Yeah.
and we've got primacy at 7:45 on a Wednesday and a Thursday. So we've got primacy, haven't we?
Right, so to make a point, right, Arsenal ladies due to play Bells,
Tonight.
no, the away game in
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. 1st of September.
that kick-off's been brought forward 12:30 because Arsenal men are at home or play Tottenham in the
Yeah.
afternoon.
Yeah.
So that's, a switch of kick-off time.
Yeah.
Which they came,
They've asked us.
they came and debated that
So-
with us.
Right, fair enough, but assuming, let's say somebody booked transport from a while back,
Hmm?
they're now inconvenienced.
Yeah.
Go back to May, Arsenal had Birmingham, I think it was Birmingham, at the Emirates on a Sunday afternoon,
Yeah.
the after cup final, men's cup final. But because then men's cup were playing that weekend, that Sunday women's game got changed and we played on a Saturday. Again, similar to some of the stuff what's happened here. What about primacy and all that lot? It's like examples of the FA double speak.
Oh well, but we can't say that because we would be bringing the game into disrepute. You're a journalist. You can say what you want. You can write what you want. The bottom line is that do we agree with how we've been dealt with? No, we don't. But what do? Do you just keep screaming and shouting? Do you cry? Do you just walk away? Or do you just get on with it? Well, north of Watford Gap, we made a bit sterner stuff. And the people around and on the top table are from Doncaster. So they're not from somewhere else with a big checkbook. They are proper people from the local community, which we are a community club. So the bottom line is, and I don't know whether that answers your question, Ailey, it doesn't, does it really? Because what you were saying was are we happy playing on this pitch? Yes, we are. Look at the pitch, it's beautiful. What can be so wrong with that?
It'd be a great shame to have to pump money into a new stadium and a new pitch just because of some ridiculous FA rule that's not applied equally to all clubs. But if that's what it takes to achieve the 10-year plan, then the board would be prepared to do that.
Any more? Any more for any more?
One for Alan. After the FA decision was made, a lot of fans were quite concerned about your future at the club. Can you confirm one way or another?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm staying. How can I not stay when you've heard what you've heard from the top table? When I came in 2.5 years ago, the club is on the verge, was on the verge then, is on the verge of something massive. What you've heard and seen today, I think just shows that is now not just. And again, Carl spoke about that there's them that talk the talk and there's them that able, produce and will. So just watch this space. So the answer to your question is yes, I'm here. Yes, I'm staying. Short and sweet. Any more for any more?
Mine is not so much a question, but is thanks to each and every one of you on there for believing in Doncaster Bells and for taking this forward. Massive commitment from you all, and from the fans' point of view, we can't thank you enough for that. We've seen the hard work that John and Alan have been putting in with the appeal, with the whole process. As fans, we wish we could have done something more to help you. But like you say, we are where we are. Sometimes in life, decisions don't always go our way, but it's how we actually get on and deal with those. And I feel now that we've actually got the backing that you guys deserve, that the club deserves, to move things forward. And like I say, from the fans' point of view, thank you.
No, thank you.
It's an absolute delight. You're absolutely right. Alan and John have done an amazing job to keep it all together. We're delighted to come in and to add that extra support, take it to a different level. And it's not over yet.
That's the press conference, I think, that's over. Unless you've any more questions. What we've got is players, coaches, and obviously some of our own supporters, our own people behind the scenes, sort of from, and I'm not going to embarrass anybody, but from Mike Crozier, from Phil Off at Doncaster Rovers, from Jay at Bowlby Academy of Sport, Jeff Burrow from GMB, Andrew Isaacs, and Glenn from Jayco. What Carl spoke about was sponsorship, and that sponsorship will see, as you'll no doubt have unveiled shortly, BPP, who have been within the last week, fortnight, 10 days, awarded university status. So we've got some new front of shirt, especially for tonight, rocking up against Arsenal. Ladies who are coming to the Keep Moat, and get yourself a programme and read what Shelley Kerr's got to say about preparing for coming playing against Doncaster Rovers Bells, because she's not taking it light-heartedly. She's not coming up here thinking they're strolling away with 3 points. We'll give them a baked spud and a bit of a filling later to take away with them, but they're certainly not taking 3 points, is what we're going to say. So anyway, I'll shut up rattling because I can talk for England, Scotland, Ireland and Wales, to be fair, Carl. But so I think Glenn from Jayco's got a couple of shirts to show you from speaking to players, and again, Julie, Emma, and I'll say Razza, because I think somebody got it wrong at programme, didn't they, Razza? Got your name wrong. So that's the new sort of logo, BPP and Carl supporting us, sponsoring us. So from a front of shirt, the girls will be decked out with the new gear for tonight, and yeah, ask away, interact, and sort of speak to the relevant people here. Thank you. Thanks for your time.